Hi, this is Peter Stanley. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 1st, 2021, and this is a pepper grow update. Okay, so I'll start out on the porch. This isn't peppers, but I want to show you the system I've built. I grew peppers in it the last couple of years, but this year I'm growing these white Tomaso tomatoes. See, there's a bunch on there already. And this is a 27-gallon tote. Like it's basically a cracky tote, but it has a float valve on this corner, and there's a reservoir here. I could use a bigger reservoir, but that's just what I've got. I just have to fill it. And so far they're doing well. They're getting fed Maxibloom at 7 grams per gallon. There's 2 plants in here. It's doing really well. These are my 2 Riccardo Cross Olive Pheno. It's also a comparison with the DIY build, which is this, and the Grow Bucket build, which is that one. And they're pretty much neck and neck as far as size and growth. They're kind of branching out one direction or another. Got a lot of blooms on it. A few of these are turning ripe. Kind of hard to see in this light, but kind of see they're getting that kind of light yellow color, olive color. This is the Kratky 60-gallon Kratky barrel, and this is the Kingstar Lingria pepper that I grew last year in it. And end of last year I chopped it down and put it inside, and it's growing back out. So you can see the trunk and get an idea of that it's not a new plant. It's only grown one season. This is the second season. And starting to get some fruits on it. Oh, and speaking of the Grow Bucket, I'm doing a giveaway. I put a video up a couple weeks ago, and if you watch this video at some point in the video randomly, I'm going to pick a point to just announce the winner. So watch the video and you'll see who won the Grow Bucket giveaway. Okay, these are my drip system plants this year. I'll kind of go up and down the rows here. These first 2 here are Mako Acacacerate. It's a it's an African Chinense pepper. Got a lot of fruits. I grew this a few years ago. Smokey Joe sent me some pods, and I saved seeds. That's what these are growing from. I really liked it the last time I tried it. It's got that kind of Chinense, habanero-ish kind of flavor, but it's also kind of got some undertones of like melon or cantaloupe. It's pretty unique. Nice heat on them too. This other one also has some fruits on it. And these 2 here are Peach Mayan Hab. It's a cross from Susan Garza, and first time growing it. That's a really nice, slightly bumpy texture, sort of elongated, sort of pendant shape. A lot of nice looking fruits. This has a few on it as well. And the next 3, this one, and this one, are a 3-way boot cross. It's solid gold boot crossed with pink tiger, crossed with peach boot. And these were saved from a pod that I grew 2 last year. They normally have like an orange, ripened to an orange color, and one of my plants ripened to the solid gold color, but it was much hotter than the solid gold boot. So these 3 came from those seeds. So you can see there's a lot of differences, really unstable. Like this has kind of slightly green and purple leaves. This has like mostly purple leaves, and these are mostly green. But the one that's mostly green, it's a smaller plant. I do have some fruits on it. The one that's mostly purple, I have darker pods. There, and there, and there's some other on the other side. And the other one that's kind of half and half has a bunch of pods. These are probably bigger, have some of the better shapes, and they've got some purple in them. Almost kind of reflective of the leaf color. It's almost like the more purple the leaves are, the more Of course, a lot of this is like a response to the sun, the darkening, but they looks like I've got one turning ripe. And look, last year they went into different color phases, but this one they just go into like that gold color. So this is like maybe the final color. So I may be getting that phenotype I had last year. These two are my cross of a Shishito crossed with Stavros, and that's, I call it sweet Shito, because they have a kind of a medium heat sweet flavor. It's pretty unstable. I guess it's like, these are probably F3, F4. This one has the shape more of the Shishito, sort of the thinner, longer, thinner, and this one's taken on the genetics more of the Stavros, the shorter, fatter pods. And I've had a major attack of hornworms. It almost looks like something's been eating some of these leaves. I've been checking every day since I noticed them. Yeah, see the droppings there? That means there's one on here, probably. So if I look, eventually I'll see it. And you really don't want hornworms sticking around because they will totally strip your plants. I'll show you one in a minute. And they're really good at hiding too. You won't see it until they're like right in front of you. But I'm gonna have to come back and search for this one. I know there's, unless it's one that I picked off already and this is some of the damage, but I'm pretty sure he's probably still on there. But yeah, I'll come back and look for that. So anyway, so I've got two white Tomaso tomatoes. This is a self-watering container, and this is the grow bucket. And I mentioned it before, but these aren't being used as they are intended. I actually have drip emitters just watering these, and then whatever excess will go out the drain. So these are actually doing okay. Over here I've got 3 Bucholokia saved from last year's seeds. Getting some pods. Pretty gnarly looking fruits on here. And the next 2 are California Reaper. This one actually wasn't looking the best, but it's starting to come back. I added fertilizer to all of these about a week ago, and they're starting to grow more and green up the leaves. So I got some little fruits on these. This is the other California Reaper. There's a little fruit there. It's pretty nice. Another one there. This is one of my favorite from last year. Next 2 is Save Seed from last year from Jimmy Johnson. He actually sent me a few of the ones I'm growing. Some I'm saving from last year, some I'm growing first time. But this is a Primo Cross Chocolate. It was originally from a non-chocolate pheno, and they had purple leaves. Mine had green leaves with a chocolate pheno, and I love the flavor on them. So I grew it again. So I'm getting some fruits there, quite a few, and this other. So these are growing green like last year, and the pods are looking similar. So I hope I get the chocolate again because it was a really good flavor. Pepper. This is I believe originally said Jenny Younger cross. Jimmy sent me a Reaper cross with Chupatino, and I don't know what they're supposed to look like, but I'm getting some gnarly little tiny skinny pods. They look really wicked, so kind of wrinkly. Looking forward to seeing how those taste. This is Weary Weary from last year's Save Seed. Some peppers on that. It started out really puny, but it's starting to take off. This plant and this plant are Kingston Yellow, saved from last year's seeds. I really liked the pheno I got last year with the Scotch bonnet shape, but they had like the excess heat and good flavor. And some of these are kind of trying to go there. So I'm hoping as they produce more I'll get some of those. A few of these I think are a little better. Yeah, this one has its shape that I like. I don't think it's like the original shape, but I like the how these tasted so much in the heat, and they were this shape, which is kind of cool. That's like a Scotch bonnet with a lot of unexpected kick. There's another one there. And these, this is a Kankstar Cross Lemon Starburst. And I've got a few of these on here, starting to show up. The next two is saved from last year. It was supposed to be in Feria, but I think they grew out a little different. I just call it the Feria Yellow Cross, and they both are doing well and producing a lot. They're kind of like habanero heat, maybe a little less, maybe about habanero heat. They taste really good, kind of fruity. It's another Kankstar Cross. This is a Lingria. It's safe seed from the plant I just showed you on the Cracky Barrel. So safe from the seed from that from last year, and that's producing a lot. The next is also a safe seed from last year of Mango Hab. These have always put out kind of yellowy leaves in the new growth. That's just this plant that's getting the same thing everything else is, but they eventually do green up, and it's producing a lot. It was really productive last year. You can see there's more. This one, and this is saved from a produce stand, jalapeno, and it's producing some really nice size. The one I saved seeds from was huge. And I've actually been picking a few of these and using in food, but it's got some nice pods. This is a Trinidad Dog Brown, sent several years ago from an Italian grower that I grew it then, and it was really hot. These are growing a little different than they were when I originally grew them. They're from the same seed stock that I have, but these, maybe it was from multiple pods, but these are more elongated and bumpy, whereas the others were more like Moruga shaped and bumpy, but they were chocolate. So see how these turn out. These two Reaper Moruga crosses were from the same person that sent the Trinidad Dog Brown. And I've been growing this from my seeds for several years now. And these are really, really hot. So there's one there. Once it gets producing, it puts out a lot of fruit. There's some there. And they're like dangerously hot. This is the plant I was telling you. I ate a bunch of these pods too. But like, I was too late, and like it just stripped this entire plant. This is a Jericoacoara orange. I broke a few of these stems off, but there's leaves starting to come back. I need to prune off some more of this dead stuff, or whether it's bare anyway. Yeah, they ate like the fruits, and it was just one hornworm unchecked, just wiped this plant. This is another of the same thing. You can see it's got a lot of fruits. This is how the other one would look if it had not been eaten. This is a clone of one of last year's plants I had growing indoors. It's a Thai yellow long. It's kind of like if you've ever seen the large orange Thai, I think it's the same pepper. It produces kind of these meaty yellow pods, some kind of a Thai cross or hybrid. They're pretty good, especially for powder. They have a nice kick too. This is Cusco Market, Peru. It's a picatum. It starts out with these white kind of bleeding calyx pods, which is really neat. But Jimmy told me they ripen out to a red, and they're a fairly mild heat. But they're really pretty, I think. This is a saved seed from, actually both of these from pods that Jim Kingman sent me. This is a Yellow Reaper. Got one really pretty pod on there. A bunch of smaller ones growing. Some there are really wicked. And this is Kankstar Crimson Star. and it's producing a lot. I think they're supposed to, well, the one I saved seed from was red. It may just be a mutation, but I'm getting a yellow ripening pod. They either crossed or it's a mutation, so I don't know, but it's pretty cool. So lesson, always check for hornworms this time of year, or really it hits different times of the year for different people, but usually sometime in the summer people usually get them. I missed them last year. Somehow I didn't have any, but they're just like coming out of the woodwork here. I didn't see any just now, but I've been more cognizant of them being around, so I'm checking more frequently. That's a bad thing if you set like this kind of set and forget system like I've got. It's easy to just not check for a few days, and then and you could really suffer a lot of damage if you don't catch these. But anyway, so that's grow update. Plants I think are coming along well. They're starting to grow some more since I amended the fertilizer and the micronutrients, and they're greening up. They started to yellow up a little bit, but they're greening back up, putting out more growth. So I think they're doing well. They seem to be kind of a late start, maybe, or behind a lot of the other folks I'm seeing. I'm not gonna, it'll probably be late summer, early fall before I get a lot of ripe pods on everything. But I'm just keeping it going, and I'll keep sharing updates on these. And so anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like that. Please like, comment, and subscribe.